Empire Total War on YouTube. It's been 11 years now since the game has been out and been on YouTube. So I've been covering this game for the last 3 years. Of course, I've had it for ever since the game's been out, but only been covering it on YouTube for the last 3 years. In this series, I will be talking about the YouTube creators over the years, and I'm going to be breaking it down into 3 sections. First, we're going to be talking about the beginnings, the early years creators, the ones that started it all, that proved the ground, the middle years, the competitive years, and today, the torch bearers that carry on Empire's legacy on YouTube. So, this series should be 3 episodes, and I hopefully can cover all of them, where the YouTubers started, where they are now, and go from there. So, where do we start? Well, I guess there's no better place to start than at the beginning, right? Yeah, but we're not going to do this in any particular order. Well, that's not necessarily true. I do have a method of why I'm going to be introducing and talking about these different YouTubers in the way that I do, and hopefully it will make sense and flow into a really good video for you that you can hopefully enjoy. So let's get this kicked off. We're gonna first start talking about the first YouTube creator that I watched in my experiences, and that would be Lionheart. So Lionheart was one of the first 3 YouTubers that I actually got introduced to, and I will say that he had a great selection of videos at the time. A couple multiplayer battles. He had explanations and gave us insights on the new units as they came out from the DLC, which was helpful for those of us that had to purchase the DLC. He obviously had his favorite unit, the Windbouchets, and had videos like that. He also had great videos on what settings to use and how to download dark mod, all these things through the years, and he did his campaigns as well. So he always had a very entertaining channel. So I think one of the things that always kept me watching Lionheart's videos were his definite easy charisma of being able to calmly narrate through the different videos, and definitely you can see his influences in other YouTubers covering Total Wars today, and he over the years has continued to go back to Empire Total War, doing several campaigns through the years, always returning to Empire. And that's something I always appreciated about Lionheart, as that is my biggest interest with the Total War genre, and seeing him return to it over and over again is definitely always a nice thing. Just recently he returned to the USA campaign over the last year, and I'm sure he's going to do more of Empire as well. So definitely great YouTuber through the years. And obviously it goes without saying he is one of the biggest of the Total War YouTubers today, so his channel has grown immensely since the beginning of his channel, and very glad to see that for one of our old Empire Total War YouTubers.
Hey guys, this is the PrinceofMacedon, and I'm doing a commentary video for Empire Total War Online. This is the France versus Britain battle. I'm in command of the French right here. They're wearing mainly white uniforms, and my opponent is
Alright, so who doesn't remember those type of introductions back in the day? Yes, Prince of Macedon, he had a amazing ability and charisma with narration, and his style definitely set the bar for YouTubers that would come for Total War, as he was the biggest Total War YouTuber at the time, and he definitely had that ease with his video narration that I don't think even today some YouTubers can match. So when we talk about Prince of Macedon, obviously he's gone on to be a huge YouTuber. He's got 2 channels now, but he never really exceeded too much past that level. He obviously, being the biggest, comes big criticisms, and he definitely got his share of those. And I feel a lot of that was really unjustified. I think a lot of people really exploited his name recognition, basically going in, trying to trash him, talking bad about him so that they can help promote their own channels. And you can see those type of videos all over YouTube, them saying how crappy of a guy Prince of Macedon is, blah blah blah. And let's keep it real, guys. He's a normal person just like me and you. He's not a celebrity with a marketing department and a PR department. This is a regular guy, and he's making YouTube content to entertain us, and you got other people trying to knock him down. But I guess that is kind of the nature of things when you are getting the spotlight that he got. Now, unfortunately, that is a stigmatism that has stuck with his channel, and I think a lot of people still think of Prince of Macedon as being a negative person. But I can tell you from my personal experience, I've only had good interactions with him. I've commented on many of his videos through the years, and he is always very quickly, even when he was at his heights, commented back in a quick manner with always respect, and I always appreciated that about him. And he seems like just a down-to-earth guy who has different interests like cars and other things that you know, are very appealing to a lot of people, and hopefully he can continue his success and continue to build and always have a home on YouTube, because I always will have appreciation for what Prince of Macedon gave to me for his commentary of Empire. That really helped push me over the edge to go out and run and buy it after it come out. And him as well as the other early YouTubers as well all pushed me into that, but he was probably the biggest of them, and I will always appreciate his commentary and his outlook. Alright, next up, JosefVStalin. Yeah, this is one I bet you weren't expecting. Some of you probably don't even know who he is, but yes, this YouTuber was one of the early YouTube creators, and I must say he was extremely entertaining, had a great talent for doing his commentaries, always had interesting outlooks and perspectives, and his other nonsense videos were just flipping pure entertainment. He was a special guy, but he at the beginning stages would always end up in tournaments and such with some of the other YouTubers, so yeah, that's why he's going to earn his place on this list here. And also for one other thing, because it also ties into what we were just talking about, the Prince of Macedon. He has a video, which I will link in the description, that talks about Prince of Macedon and his negative comments that he gets, and I must say it is one of the best videos ever, so I definitely suggest you watch it. It is an unfortunate thing that this guy does not do YouTube videos any longer. He reached up to 17,500 subscribers on his JoseVStalin channel at the time of this recording, and unfortunately he didn't get big. He stopped doing videos. I think it's 8 years since he did his last video on that channel. He did move over to another channel where he did get over 20,000 subscribers on it. The JoseVStalin was that channel, and I think his last video was 3 years ago on that. So that's most unfortunate. But once again, I am going to leave a link in the description below for you to check out that video of him talking about Prince of Macedon. It is a classic, to be sure.
Sup? What are you wearing? This is Synoptic and I'm doing commentary on Stalin's tournament 1v1. This is round 2. I'm versing a guy called Opitz by 999. This is, as you can see, the flat map, grassy flatlands. I'm playing as the Dutch, my opponent is playing as the US. We can go through my army first. I have 3 Swiss, I think 4 light infantry, 4 long range, 1 light infantry, 3 heavy cav, 2 light dragoons.
Alright, so, yeah, that introduction. I always loved Synoptic Cam's introductions. Synoptic, he was my favorite of all of the YouTubers, probably. No offense to anybody else, but I just always dug his videos, and you can see probably a lot of influences from his videos in mine, and because I always thought his commentaries were always just something super awesome and special. He had a great knowledge of the game, and he was a fantastic player. And he also had probably the best dual commentaries of anybody I probably ever watched. And I think that's what added such an element to his channel, was his dual commentaries. And it was just had so much humor, so much lightness, so much fun in them. And anyways, Synoptic Cam, you always have a special place in my heart, my man. Even though, unfortunately, he stopped doing videos about 6 years ago, and obviously he stopped doing Empire as he moved on from the game. But there was always a lot of great care into the videos he did, and he represented Empire to the utmost, and always loved watching his videos. Now, one of the other people that he did dual commentaries with, I'm going to kind of bring these 3 YouTubers in together, since they all kind of played with each other a little bit. The next up was, now I could be completely butchering this name, as usually I am so apt to do, but Palul 230688, and he was a clanmate of Synoptic, and also played a lot with him, and they had just the best dual commentaries, and I will cover his channel next. Yes, unfortunately, Synoptic Cam only got to 2,650 subscribers as of right now. I think it was higher, obviously way higher than that before. Obviously, a lot of people have left his channel since he no longer creates, but I can't really exactly remember how many subscribers he was at his peak, but he still has 2,650. Unfortunately, he still no longer does videos, and that is a very unfortunate thing, because, like I said, he did put out some great content. So you can't talk about Synoptic without talking about Palul 230688, because, like I said, their dual commentaries were just so classic. And he didn't get to the amount of subscribers that Synoptic did, unfortunately, but again, his channel was still a really good channel, and one that I always had a lot of fun with. And again, their dual commentaries between the two of these guys were fantastic. His tutorials on videos were exceptional, and I actually use quite a few of the tactics that the two of them did use back in the day, obviously tweaked for modern era, as tactics will continually change as players adapt. But Palul put out some fantastic work. It's so unfortunate he no longer plays Empire or does videos because
welcome back, guys, to the second part.
He absolutely, between the two of them, just blew it out of the park.
Empire Total War, a game of men. Sometimes women, I don't know. This is a game where two armies come together in the field of battle. There can only be one victor. But this is a 3 vs 3, so there'd probably be 3 victors, and in 4 vs 4s you'd have 4 victors. Back to the point. This is a game where only the strongest minds, best strategies, and overpowered armies will prevail.
Oh, dearie me. So I know, have you taken your meds recently? Hello again, YouTube. This is Pure230688, aka Angelos, and you may have guessed I am doing a duel with the main man, Synoptic. We're doing a 3v3 here. Again, it's an all battle. We're playing against the Gods clan.
Now, you can't beat commentary like that. You just can't. That's what I'm saying. These two guys together were absolutely a classic, and it's too bad that you no longer have their presence on YouTube, because they are sorely missed. Alright, so the next YouTuber, Heir of Carthage. Yes, this guy, he was one of the first 3 that I watched. Him, PrinceofMacedon, and Lionheart. Those are the first 3 that I watched on YouTube, and of course he was a pretty darn big YouTuber then, and became obviously one of the biggest today. And you can see I loved his Let's Play campaigns, single player campaigns. He did one as Poland, Lithuania, and I think he did one other one. I think it was Austria. I could be wrong, but anyways, he also did some multiplayer, and he played with Palul and Synoptic Cam. So there was some great overlap of going between the 3 channels, watching their footage, if you will, playing 3v3s and 4v4s and stuff like that. So always enjoyed that aspect of having these guys all on one one group, if you will, but 3 different channels. And boy, did the channels take major different turns of where they went, because Heir of Carthage, obviously he's become a huge YouTuber. He's at 255,000 at the time of this recording. So him and Lionheart went on to be huge YouTubers, and then you got guys like Synoptic Cam, Palul, and also JosefVStalin, who unfortunately were great YouTubers, but for whatever reason they stopped, and they just never got to the level that these other guys did, which is sad, because they were also great YouTubers. But on Heir of Carthage, obviously, similar to Lionheart, he has a calmness to his narrations that is very easy for people to follow along with, and I think that was a big reason why I liked his channel. And there's one other YouTuber who I'm going to speak about here in just a minute, who is vastly different, but a love for the difference. But Heir of Carthage had some great videos back in the day. I loved his insight. I loved his commentary. Yeah, so Heir of Carthage is definitely always going to be one of those YouTubers who are special to me. He had a lot of interactions with PrinceofMacedon. I remember watching them going to one of the reveals for one of the next Total War games and such, and yeah. Anyways, just seeing the connection between these guys was really cool. But it all started, for me at least, watching them play Empire. I know that not all of them did they start their channels because of Empire, but for me, that's how I got the start. And we're talking about Empire Total War here after all anyways.